The athletic director for the Youngstown Schools says they are in compliance with state regulations and all athletes competing in fall sports at East High can finish the season.
This as students from Chaney were forced earlier this week to transfer to East after the Ohio High School Athletic Association determined they could not play varsity sports, including football, unless they attended East. Interpreting the rules is our top story at 11.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
And with that, Chaney High School this evening held a football game for the first time in 7 years. Freshman and junior varsity players against Barberton. But hanging over Youngstown's football program are decisions made this week by the Ohio High School Athletic Association, starting with Chaney students, including football players, not being allowed to compete at East High.
Did you just find out the day before school started that the kids that go to Chaney could not participate at East?
Yeah, we did.
Both Chaney and East are now OHSAA members, so students from one school cannot compete for another school. Before this week, Shepis twice requested meetings with state officials, but was told they weren't necessary.
I obviously was uncomfortable about it, anticipating possible calamity in the future, and that's why I wanted to be as proactive as I could.
When Shepis learned of the ruling, he contacted all parents and said their students could transfer to East and play. 12 football and 2 volleyball players made the transfer.
If they were going to continue to play at East, as they've been doing their whole high school career, then they need to be at East High School the morning, Wednesday morning for school.
But there's also a rule stating a student who transfers shall be eligible for only the first 50% of the maximum allowable regular season contests, which could mean Chaney students who transferred to East can only play the first half of the season. Shepis says there's an intra-district transfer provision which should apply to the Chaney students, and he's asked the state association to allow them to play through the fall season.
You think everybody should be able to play, will be able to play every game this year?
I do believe that we're in compliance with what we're doing.
Now, I talked and emailed today with an official of the Ohio High School Athletic Association who said the reason Chaney students could play at East before was because Chaney was a STEM school, so it was permitted. I also asked if the Chaney students who transferred would be allowed to play the entire season and never heard back on that issue. Youngstown officials plan to travel to Columbus next week and hope to learn more at that time.